Andrea Mason, and we welcome her to another exceptional and transformative episode of Abundance Moonshots. I am your host, Zafar Awan Abundance Wala, and today again we have Andrea Mason with us. Andrea is a certified global motivational speaker, personal accountability
When you come
coach,
back to your
and
shows.
CEO of Press Play. With her expertise, she has helped countless individuals move from a state of feeling stuck to experiencing true freedom beyond embracing their purpose and taking actionable steps in both personal and professional lives. In today's episode, we will dive deep into theme of application, how we apply life lessons, emotions, intelligence, and actionable steps to create true transformation. Andrea's insight will not only inspire you, but also provide practical tools to help you take meaningful actionful in your own journey. Let's dive into his empowering conversation, and we'll be asking questions from the Les Brown alumni, the writer of Victim to Victorious, and she's not only a poet, a writer, but she is a singer also, and she is such a she's such an excellent orchestra. I mean, I first time saw she plays piano too. Lady, how many things can you do?
If you give me enough time, I can learn to do many of things. It's really just practice, ambition, and passion. As I mentioned earlier on in the segments, that when I was younger, my parents wanted me to be very well versed and cultured. So we would go to theaters, we would go to Broadway shows and musicals and whatnot. And so music became a really escape route, but also a attribute that I really enjoy doing. It's a hobby, it's a passion, and so I started playing the piano at the age of 4. And there's other instruments that I dabble with, but that's the one that I really enjoy.
That's amazing. I mean, every day you're making us more amazing about yourself, and we get wonderful info about you, and we got a lot of energy and great vibes from your end. Thank you so much. Andrea, you've shared how you've trans, transitioned from victim to victorious in your life. Could you
Mhm.
elaborate on how the lessons you've learned have shaped your personal and professional mission?
Yes. So the ability that I had, the applications that I have attributed was that of really pinpointing in taking the lessons that I've learned and learning how to apply them. A lot of individuals gather so much information, knowledge, resources, but they don't apply them in their daily lives. They'll attend seminars, they'll attend webinars, they'll read books, but in most of the time, there's a small percentage that actually utilizes the knowledge for the greater good, for their benefits, and to help them advance in life. So, what I did is the importance of application is really to understand, learn, apply, master, then teach. Back to you.
Thank you, Andrea. One of your key principle is to follow your heart, not the hurt, not the herd. How do you guide others in applying this powerful message to create life of purpose and peace?
Yes, excellent question. We tend to focus on the past. Unfortunately, the past takes great weight. We're hurt, we've gotten abandoned, abused, lied to, betrayed is a number one of the top factors, and we don't allow ourselves to heal from it. We really take that grudge and really carry it with us into the next experiences. And what happens at times is those individuals that have hurt us may no longer be in our lives, but the memory is. And when we go into moving on with our lives, per se, then if anyone that has the similar attributes, qualities, or traits, they will receive the same emotion that was put upon us. Let me give you an example. If someone lies to you and they have certain characteristics or a false intent to see you succeed, and you get hurt by them, it's very painful. It's emotional. It could be traumatic at some times, and it could really affect you emotionally and get you sad. So you dismiss that person, or that person moves on with their life. Let's say for a breakup. But what happens is, because we don't focus on the lessons that was taught from that breakup, we attract a lot more individuals with those same qualities. That's all I'm deserving of. That's all I'm worthy of. That's all I am qualified to be with. And so when we don't apply the lessons from the losses, then what happens is we stay in that cycle and we repeat the same behaviors and pains that occurred at that moment.
Thank you. As a coach and a mentor, you inspire others to take actions. How do you ensure that people you serve are not just inspired but are actively applying what they learn to create real change?
Excellent question. When I walk beside someone upon their journey, I believe that it's my responsibility to a certain extent to hold them accountable. Now, some people say accountable, that's kind of a dictate, like being a leader, being someone who dictates on what you do. I'm talking about checking in. So, for example, you want to lose weight. I would check in with that individual on an agreed frequent amount of time and say, hey, how are you doing? How was your meals today? Did you, eat healthy? Did you have your proteins, your vegetables, and did you drink a lot of water? Then I would check in going forward. I would encourage them, I would empower them in public, and also to make sure that they see that they're doing the right thing. Now, if they fall off track, as an accountability coach or a thought leader or a mind shift changer who helps them transition into shifting their mindset, then we would talk about, well, what caused you not to eat healthy today? What caused you not to exercise? And then whatever their response is, we kind of elaborate on that. Okay, how could we encourage and refrain from you being fatigued or tired? Let's look at your sleeping patterns. What caused you to not exercise today? Well, I didn't feel like it. What was the mood at that point that has done it? So, as an accountability coach, we go into different layers on the reasons why and why not, and intentionally that the reason why we connected is to achieve a goal that you have to put aside for yourself.
Putting a goal aside for yourself. Thank you,
Yes.
Andrea. Reflecting on your journey as an adoptee, how have these experiences influenced your work and your passion for serving others?
Yes. What you'll find with most adoptees that I've connected with and have had experiences with, adoptees, foster children, orphan children, even children from a divorce, is that they have a missing piece in their life. They feel abandoned, they feel betrayed, they feel unworthy, they don't feel like they're good enough, they feel like they are left out, don't fit in. And so when you look at applying goals in your life, what we have to do as adoptees is realize, well, you know what? I may have not been dealt a good hand in the cards of life, but I'm still here. What could I do with the gifts that I possess, the knowledge and intellect that I have right now that I can teach and apply with others? What were the barriers? What were some of the trials and tribulations that I've endured and experienced? And how did I overcome and achieve them? Remember, anything that you've gone through gives you the right certification and permission to help others achieve it and overcome it too. Back to you.
Thank you. You often emphasize that if you do not do the inner work, you will never be truly free. How do you help your client apply this truth to their personal development and healing?
Yes, excellent question. I just actually connected with someone, Miss Kelly Chu, and she was, running some, knowledge about her experience. And one of the taglines that she used, paraphrased, was, "We can give you the map, but you have to do the work. We can give you the tools, we can give you the guidelines and so forth, but you have to do the work." And a lot of people say, "Oh, well, if I learn by someone of the greats, like, for example, my coach, my mentor, my kindred spirit, my fellow adoptee is Les Brown. He could only take me so far. But I have to learn how to take his principles and teachings and apply them to me. I may not have the same experiences he has, whether it be by age, by environment, by external influences in social media. But we have to do the inner work, is saying, meeting us where we're at, being honest with ourselves. A lot of people, we talked about a couple of segments ago about making investments. Investments doesn't just solely mean financial investments, it means time. And so if you ask yourself, well, I'm attending all these trainings, I'm reading all these books, I'm going to these seminars, I'm investing time not only in the individual who's hosting the event, but myself. I'm doing a disservice if I'm not using that work to apply it to what I'm doing. And so the inner work is number one. I like to do things in threes. Number one, be honest with yourself. Are you enrolling in a course, in a program, in a seminar just to be seen and get that certification? Or are you going to really apply it? Because you're making not only an investment in money, but in time and in that person who's dedicated the time to teach you. Number two, are you ready? Am I ready? A lot of us say we're ready when we really aren't. We haven't really dealt with our past. We haven't dealt with our forgiveness of others. We haven't dealt with ourselves with increasing and encouraging our self esteem or confidence. So, are you ready? And number three, we always look at the destination of dreams. What does it look like if I do this? What does it look like if I do apply this webinar, this knowledge, this message, or this journey that I'm working on? So, to recap, number one, ask yourself, be honest with yourself. Number two, make sure that you learn why are you doing it and stay focused. And number three, always remember to say, what is the end game? Not to get there, but to embrace the journey on why you're doing it. Back to you.
Thank you, Andrea. How do you apply the core values your mother instilled in you? Acceptance, compassion, and truth in your daily life and work.
Yes, my mother, okay, I didn't expect to get emotional on this, but my mother instilled a lot of great things. My father is still here. He's my hero. My mother's my inspiration. She instilled compassion in me by meeting people where they're at, learning that they're human beings, learning that they have something to give, learning that they're here for a person. She welcomed everybody in her heart and her home without judgment. However, don't get me wrong, if it went sideways, she would respectfully have a way to distance herself. As far as her so you said compassion. Pardon me, what were the other two?
Compassion,
Yes.
acceptance, and truth.
Acceptance. Yes, my
And truth.
mother was a big advocate of accepting people. She didn't believe in conformity, but she believed in acceptance. That, when we accept others, it's really a reflection of who we are. And we are a creator of, we are a piece of the creator, our belief system. So she would give people the benefit of doubt and make an every effort to ever whom she came in contact with is to accept them and meet them where they're at. And then finally, trust. My mother, whew, I'll still remember when I was a young kid that, you know, I don't remember what I did in elementary school. I did something wrong, and my mother questioned me on it. And so to refrain from discipline, I was just I had said I didn't do it. And I'll never forget the word she said. She's like, "Well, at least you know one thing, you stink at lying. So be honest, trust, and be truthful, and always find the truth in everything." So those are the three components that I learned from my mother: compassion, acceptance, and truth and trust. Back to you.
I knew already that that's the very touchy point for you. But as an academic question, I had to ask just because your mothers or what mothers or what men or what mothers make them.
Yes.
So, how do you measure the real world application of your press play philosophy in the lives of those you mentor? Could you share any example of success stories?
Yes, I've actually worked with some individuals who are parents, and they were either confused, misunderstood, or really didn't have patience to deal with their children. And one thing that I learned from my mother was just, you know, be honest with your children. And, which is difficult at times, and to empower them, and when I was growing up, she was just saying, as a parent, as a mother, you have to make a lot of sacrifices. You have to make a lot of sacrifices, not only as a wife, as a daughter, as a sister, and as a mother, because you are really one of the key components that everybody turns to. And until you become a mother yourself, you really don't understand the responsibility of that. And so there was one person I worked with, and they were really struggling with their child. I don't understand them. They don't listen. They don't get it. I'm here to avoid them, help them avoid the mistakes that I've made. And I remember sitting there talking with this mother, and all I heard was the mistakes I made, the experiences I had, the shortcomings I endured. And I said to her at that moment, I said, well, just take a few seconds, take a deep breath, and let me ask you, whose life is it? And she said, I don't understand. She said, well, is this your life or your child's life? And she said, my child. And I said, well, let's figure out what that means. What do you identify? What are their pain points? What are their key points? What are their struggles? What are their strengths? And she never really thought to see that through the lens as a mother, because we're here to nurture, we're here to care, we're here to redirect, we're here to, adjust and so forth. And when I talked to her about that, she said, oh my gosh, I just realized I was living my dreams through my child, protecting them from my mistakes that they have yet to make, and to heal them from the pains that I've experienced. So when she redirected her perspective, her perception, and her lens, she was able to work with her child again where they were at. Back to you.
Thank you. As you speak on stage and virtual platforms around the world,
Mhm.
how
Yes.
have you applied consistent action, courage, and clarity to reach such a broad global impact?
Excellent question. I really never thought of that. I do a lot of virtual work globally. And for me, it was just really learn the different people out there. Before the world went two-dimensional, I was behind the scenes, behind the desk, or, kind of incognito working with people. I was very protective, very not in the public eye. And then something shifted when like I said, when I had connected with Les. He's just like, you have a voice, you have a message to people, dream big, it's going to happen. And So I apply the consistency, I apply the connections, I apply the intentions by saying someone's out there, someone's listening. It may not be somebody from me, but at least they know that there's a voice out there that has gone through something they've gone through. And so my style, if you look at my previous content from my earlier years, it's just anything of talking to a camera, like you're sitting in front of me. And as I evolved, I really came into my own where I felt comfortable in my own skin to take you on the park, take you in the car, take you if I wasn't feeling well. I even did some connectional videos where I had no voice, but I would put images and then I would have a narrative typewriter text at the time. They didn't have, I don't think, I wasn't able to do or learn about voiceover because my voice wasn't active. And so there was some videos, I think, for a couple of days, which showed images of what I was saying, but there was also a narration text on the screen. I think it's really important to really, put that into effect, to apply that you may, like I said, it doesn't matter how many it doesn't matter how many people you impact as long as you connect with one, and that one connection might change their life forever.
Thank you. How do you encourage your client and colleagues to move beyond just consuming information and instead apply it meaningfully in their careers, relationships, and communities?
I am so excited about this question because it is going to be in effect actually Friday. Today's what? Today's Wednesday. I don't know. My days are all off. So, in 2 days and 3 days, actually, two of my journey walkers who have chosen to press play on life, actually, through connecting with them, they wanted to achieve some sort of task and goal. And the events are coming up on Friday and Saturday, virtual platforms. And so you can check my social media handles for what they are. But for the sake of time, they wanted to do something. So what I would do is they were very book savvy, they were very knowledgeable in the industry, and they said, "This is what I want to do, Andrea. I want to have a webinar, I want to do a tutorial or so forth." So I said, "Okay, well, what materials have you gathered? Whether it be articles, magazines, or books." And the amazing thing, Zafar, was that they would check in with me and said, "I read this chapter." All right, great. Now tell me what the chapter's about, and then I would give them questions. And so they were kind of like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I didn't expect it to. I said, well, go back and read, because if you didn't absorb the information, how can you apply it? And so I am truly grateful, a proud coaching moment for these two amazing individuals this Friday and Saturday. They are hosting events based on applying the knowledge and the resources that they tapped into. Back to you.
Thank you. Your ability to apply emotional intelligence, authenticity, and accountability has clearly set you apart in personal development space. How do these qualities enhance your ability to connect with people and drive transformation?
Excellent. So the first one, emotional intelligence. We don't want our emotions to run us. And as women and as females, it's very difficult. We think from our heart as opposed from logic. And that gets us in trouble so many times. It causes us to procrastinate. It causes us to get distracted. And it causes us to get things personal. So if you guys watched yesterday's segment, one of my key takeaways is the one of the legends of Don Miguel Ruiz, the four agreements. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take things personally. Don't judge, and do your best. And so when we talk about emotional intelligence, we have to separate our emotions from the intellect that we have, not let them cross over. Now, we do have to heal through feeling. We have to acknowledge it and address it and go through the process. But don't let it tarnish the information that you're receiving to have it skewed, because whatever information you're gaining is factual. Factual doesn't coincide with emotions. And then the second component you said, repeat please, Zafar. So you said emotional intelligence, and what was the other two?
One is emotional intelligence. Second and third are authenticity and accountability.
Yes, authenticity is very difficult for individuals because now in the day and age we use some people don't use it properly with AI, and we just want to copy, repeat, and rinse, and rinse, repeat. But we are all individuals who are different. So we can take the principles, we can take the blueprint, but make it your own. That's what's going to make you connect with people. It's not, if I came in and started, you know, replicating Zafar's behavior, I'm not being true to thyself. But I can take the knowledge and in the knowledge and information he has, but then make it relatable to my audience. And then we talked about emotional intelligence, authenticity, and accountability. We talk about that as being the proponent of making sure you have that checklist. Make sure you're doing your due diligence in working towards success.
Before I go for closing remarks, I have
Yes.
another challenge for you. I want you to play your favorite song on piano,
Play on my favorite song on piano.
or I can give
Um,
you another choice, or you can
okay.
recite
I,
a
I, I got a song.
poem to us. Yeah,
Okay, I
both. I mean,
definitely have a song. Wishingfully that my battery holds up because I just realized it's low. So hold, I'll be
okay.
back in one moment.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
sure. And here with us is Andrea Mason. She's Les Brown's alumni. She's a writer, she's a singer, she's a piano
That's right.
player. And what and what's not? I mean, she's an amazing personality. And she was once wrecked down. She was too down. And then she made her life. She was once at ventilator in CCU, and then he took charge of her life, and she got up on her own feet. She gathered all courage, and then she's. You can see what she's now. She's amazing woman, and she's transformer and transforming lives and you see right, yeah, the rock star is here, so she'll be playing a piano poem to us, and it's one of her favorite songs. Over to you, Andrea.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Ah, see, I'm not perfect, people. It's been a minute.
Yeah,
Don't want me to do it
it's
again.
perfectly all right. It's
Uh,
I mean, being not perfect is perfectly all right. I mean, don't expect you're a rock star. I mean, but that's where still we are enjoying.
oh gosh.
Thank you, Andrea, for sharing your incredible insights on power of application and how we can truly transform our lives by embracing life's lessons and consistently taking action. Your wisdom is inspiring, and I am sure our life will live with actionable steps to apply in their own journey. Andrea, I really can't thank you enough for your everything. You're always ready for challenges. I mean, you didn't know I asked you to play piano to start with. You were not ready, but you did that, and still in the end, you were not expecting how I'm gonna end this, but still you did that. I mean, you are an amazing personality, and you are powerhouse of emotions and motivation. Thank you for being Andrea.
Yes, assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much. And it just proves nobody's perfect. With constant persistence and proactivity, you'll be able to lead towards progression. Thank you so much for having me. Good evening, good night, good morning, and good afternoon. And we'll see you tomorrow. Be safe and be well.
See you tomorrow. Bye bye.